Hi everyone, my name is Ramneet, and we are back this week with chapter 2 of Your Mind is Your Home. And like I said last week, this book is about how to how to end anxiety, stop overthinking, and have more control over your thoughts. This book is written by Kamran Bedi, and chapter 2 of his book is named Login, and this is about people and experiences that um, kind of come and go in a person's mind, memories and thoughts that continue to play out over and over again, positive or negative, and how they can kind of leave an everlasting image in one's mind, and how we go back to overthinking similar thoughts in our life and how they continue to impact us on a daily basis. So, his first little bit um, in this chapter talks about headspace. And in this, he mentions how to, it talks a little bit about allowing yourself to have more control and influence over the companion that you spend so much of your time with, which is your mind. It's your mind's ability to kind of wander off and travel back and forth in past memories, which can be exhausting and it can take a lot of your time and energy. There have been times where you may have spent over time overthinking about a situation that actually never even came true, and allowing yourself to disturb your peace of mind. So he talks about how going back to your earliest memory, you can probably go back and try harder to go further than the one standout memory that keeps popping out for you, and how the ability as an adult that you have to wander into a world of thought that may be as strong as it was for your younger self. Um, so he talks about spending so much of our time thinking about the past and thinking about, well, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And it really, what it does is dampen your ability to dream. This anxiety filled, worry filled, fear filled thoughts that we are overly consumed with. He goes on to say that we actually have anywhere between 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day, which is a lot of time to be kind of spent thinking about your fears, especially if that's the direction that our thoughts end up going in. So he asks a question about how often have you spent time overthinking the worst case scenarios, and then none of it actually ever happens. Yet you felt the anxiety and fear from your thoughts, which simply disturb the potential ease and peace that you could have so easily have experienced instead. So that was very thought provoking. How we have the power to present ourselves with positive thoughts or negative thoughts, and it's whichever direction we choose to go into. That's what we're majority of our day or majority of our thoughts are going to be consumed with. Um, then he moves into the second bit of this chapter, which is called Edit Your Profile. So, in this, he asks us to take some time and think and observe, um, quote, step into the home that you have inside your mind. So he asks us to take a moment and reflect. And if we could all do this now, maybe take a pen and a piece of paper to reflect on these questions. Does your mind feel like it's with you or a separate part of you? Does it feel like you direct and control your thoughts and inner talk, or does it feel like your mind has its own energy, views, and agenda? Does your mind feel like it represents you or the views of others? If so, can you identify who is in your mind? Does it feel light or dark within? Is it cluttered, loud, or noisy? Or does it feel tidy, peaceful, and comfortable? He says, if you could put a year of time period on the space inside your head, where are you? This was an important question to reflect on as I was doing this exercise myself, is um, even though right now it's 2020 and we're in the midst of a pandemic and there's COVID-19 happening globally, my mind may not always be in the present moment. It may be reflecting on a time last year or a year where a powerful event happened in my life. So sometimes I catch myself actually in the past, or I'll find myself in the future 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and where I hope to be. And I realize I'm not actually even living in 2020, and sometimes my mind is just elsewhere. So that was a very thought provoking question. He continues to ask, what dominates you more within? Thoughts, images, and mental movies or inner chatter? People's voices, perhaps negative inner sounds and talk? Do you often think back to the good times you've had? And do you often tell yourself that you're of great value to this world? So, looking at these questions, he's asking us to kind of edit our profile and really take a deep step into the home of our mind. And it's okay if some of the answers to these questions weren't exactly positive for you. That's what he says the book is about. It's to help us get there, get to the positive thoughts, get to a place where our mind feels tidy, peaceful, and comfortable rather than dark or cluttered or loud or noisy. He says that you can recall happy, loving memories. You can experience instant joy from exploring the past memories of your life. And you can feel motivated as you create the visions and dreams of your desired future. So it's all about experiencing awareness that, when you find your thoughts kind of getting off track or going in the negative direction, you have the power to notice that. You have the power to bring yourself back. And on page 51, he says, the most important profile you have in your life is the profile of your mind. You only have one follower that gets to see all of the bad selfies, the emotional posts you experience, the real and unfiltered truth. That follower will never leave you, so make a choice to get along, to experience joy, happiness, and above all, peace. Moving into the next little bit of his chapter, the subtitle there is The Mind is Not the Enemy. So he's saying that it's important to remember that even though you think your mind is kind of its own entity, the thoughts that you have can actually be looked at as having as kind of rooms within your personal home. So there's thought provoking questions on page 52, where he says, "Does your mind feel like a guest that's perhaps overstayed its welcome? Have you got a tenant living within that needs to be evicted? Does your mind resemble a tantrum taunting loud child who won't leave you alone? Or is there another character type that fits the energy that speaks, moves, and lives within?" So, the last bit of his chapter talks about his personal experience, and he shares a little bit of his story. And he says, "What I know for sure." So he says, "I know that it's the same mind that causes problems, that is the same mind that can produce solutions. The same mind that causes pain is the same mind that can allow you to experience joy. The same mind that allows you to feel aroused is the same mind that can heal your body. The same mind that you were born with is the same mind that you are currently living in. Life may at times have been easier for you in your past. It may have felt less problematic at times. Yet it's the same mind what you had then that you also possess now. For what I know for sure is that you may at times feel that you need rescuing from your thoughts. However, it's the mind that you feel is seeking help, which is the same mind that can rescue and save you now." So this was his chapter 2, which was called Login. And as we can see slowly, as we go through the chapters and go through the pages, is that each chapter is a way to reflect on our thoughts and reflect on the specifics of our thoughts. So what thoughts need to be kind of evicted, as he stated. What present time zone are we in? Are we in the present? Are we in the past? Are we in the future? And why are we there? He talks about the power of, to summarize, the amount of thoughts that we have in a day, and how it's up to us to control those thoughts. So I will be back next week to talk about chapter 3, working from the inside out. And as we get into the middle of the book here, hopefully we can start to see some skills to help with coping if we have a lot of negative thoughts in our day. Thank you. Have a great day.